Millie at the Crystal River Mall. I think I messed up a little bit. She's getting a little reverb in her ear, so please be patient if you kind of hear her say something a little strange.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Millie.
Hey. Yeah. How are you?
Good. After last week's little bit of bandwidth issue, we got that resolved, so we're okay today.
Right.
So,
it's just a little bit of feedback, but I can
Yeah.
deal with it.
All right, I'm gonna.
Today, what I want to mention was some of the updates for the mall.
Yeah.
First, a little bit about Just Amuse Me.
Mm-hmm.
They have their restaurant open.
Okay.
They're serving food and beverages.
Cool.
They are working on their liquor license. They don't have it yet, but it's coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And they're offering, they have an event. They had a team night that was very successful.
Cool.
They had quite a few kids showed up and they had a great time.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, there's not a lot of opportunity, a lot of choices here in town for the kids. So, and with everyone being locked up for so long, it was probably nice for them to have a place to go out and dance and have some fun, listen to some music.
Right. They really worked on the social distancing. So it was fun.
That would have been kind of funky to see that, you know, I mean, especially, you know, teenagers, you know, don't like to get real close unless it's a real, you know, slow song. It must have been funny. I can imagine some of the slow songs.
Gone, Vinny.
Huh?
Teenagers don't do that anymore.
They don't. Oh, that's right. Shit.
They don't date the same way. They date in groups. So all the friends go out together. It's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
And they're all friends.
Yeah. I mean, you know, at least they have an outlet, a place to go, safe, clean, controlled.
They're going to be doing it on a regular basis.
Good.
People just need to watch the Just Amuse Me Facebook and watch for the updates.
Right. All right. All right. So,
yeah.
So a couple of things have changed here in the mall lately. You had some people transition and do some relocating.
Yes, we did. Sorry.
Okay. That's all right. No, you're busy. I mean, granted, you're in the mall office. I mean, you got people coming to you.
UPS deliveries. That's another thing. I changed offices, so I am now in an office that I used to be in 585, and I love it. It's great. We completely redid this office for a tenant, and so it's a beautiful space.
So it's right across from the Just Paint the Town.
Right. Adjacent to the theater and across from Paint the Town.
Okay.
So it's a nice space.
So we had a couple of tenants relocate and move into not nicer, but bigger space.
Right. We have Georgia Meyer bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
He has moved into the old GNC spot in the front of the mall.
Right.
It's just 2 doors up when you walk in the front door. And it's right across from Hardwood Smokehouse.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a lot of good conversation. People love her new space.
Right.
That space was laid out ideally for a bookstore.
Yeah, I mean, all that shelving, all those little cubbies. I mean, she can.
Beautiful.
I'm going to take a walk over later and take a peek. Yeah.
We're going to put some pictures up on Facebook so that people can see, but you need to come in and check it out. It's the only bookstore where you can buy, sell, and trade. So you can bring some books in that you want to trade, and she takes care of you.
Right. Okay.
So the other store that's going to be moving, he has not yet, is highly favored antiques and collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
And he is moving to right by the front door.
Okay.
So, bigger space. He's taking about 700 more square feet.
Wow.
And which
He'll
he
fill
will
it.
have completely filled.
Yeah, he will. He will fill it.
Yeah.
But, you know, people then have more choices, more opportunities.
Yeah, we're in there now.
Oh, we clicked out. We had a signal loss. We lost you. You froze. You froze up on me. Yeah, it froze up for a moment there.
You're coming back.
Yeah. Okay.
We're on my cell phone. So when the phone rings, it freezes. So he's moving into that front space. So right now he's painting and we're working on stripping the floor.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It'll be lovely space. Very cool. He does a nice job decorating.
Right. Well, that'll give him, like I said, it'll give him a little more elbow room. I mean, he was jam-packed. I know he'll probably jam-pack it again, but he has, you know, you get more space, he fills it up, I mean,
Yeah,
but he
and
does sell a lot of it too. I mean, people do come in and buy things.
Yes,
I mean,
they
he
do.
doesn't have the inventory stay very long.
And so the other news is Regal Cinema.
Yes.
They are opening on September 3rd,
Hmm.
and they are opening with a big new movie.
Oh,
I don't know what it's called yet, but I'm sure they'll be advertising it. And,
well, again,
we're
it's
very
it's
happy
another
to have them back.
yeah, it's another outlet. I mean, everyone was locked up in homes. The kids have now got something. The adults now can go out on a date night, and I imagine they're going to have seats for two. Obviously, if you go in with a couple, I mean,
Right.
that'd be bummer. You pay for a movie ticket, and your partner has to sit 6 feet away from you.
Well, I
Wait a
think
minute.
that they're going to do what a lot of other people do. Vinny, you come in with a group or a
Right.
couple, you sit
Right.
together.
Right,
Yeah,
Right.
it's just you social distance from other people.
right.
But they will be doing cleaning in between the shows. They will only be using 5 of the 9 theaters each day, and they'll be running three different movies in each one. So the latest movie will be like 7:30.
Okay.
So they're that helps us. That means they're out by 10, and really this is not a late market.
Right.
Just really don't go to the movies late here, unless it's a very special movie.
Right. And again, they'll make considerations for those. Absolutely.
So what I want to do, that's kind of the what's going on here. I want to talk a little bit about reuse of the mall.
Yes.
Let's
We've talked
kick
a little
around
bit.
some ideas.
Yeah.
That I think talking about Belk, the Belk department store. What could that be reused for?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think senior living, maybe apartments.
Yeah. Those are starting to pop up in some other malls. I've seen it on television and on Facebook and places like that where they've gone and repurposed. Because then you can you already have some of the services that some of those people would want. You've got a restaurant, you got a movie theater, they can go get their hair done, their nails done. And then maybe that would entice some of the medical subsidiaries could come in where they do, not heavy stuff, but just checkups, blood pressure, blood, take blood, things like that don't require a sophisticated
dental office, doctor's office, or one of those the medical care where you can go in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would, they would have a built-in audience, and then the audience there would have to know that they would have the comfort knowing that was there. And if an emergency arose, they'd have, an opportunity to be taken care of quickly.
Yeah.
Again, we've talked about this many a time about restructuring, rethinking how this all comes about and changes. And it's going to evolve into something. We don't know what, but I think you're right. Because of our population base here, instead of a senior sitting in an apartment all by themselves, and a lot of them do that. They move into these little apartments. They're paying $600, $800, $1,000 a month, and they're sitting there by themselves. If they had a place to congregate, I know that with Corona, it's tough, but I think we're going to get through that whole thing, in the next 6 months or so. What an opportunity, and then if you have your mom or dad in a place like that, you won't feel bad not coming to see them because they now have some socialization going on with other seniors, and that there's services there that can take care of them if something occurs.
Right. And the other part of that is that's a big enough space. If you go up 5 floors, construct some
Apartments.
senior living apartments. The one on the other side could be for families.
Yeah, you could put in a family quarters.
Comes in and visits, there's a place to stay.
Yeah, and again, this is what takes the imagination part out there. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in the industry of real estate don't have much of an imagination sometimes. They look at it as a box of, well, I don't know what to do with this thing. Think outside the box, dude. And we've talked about some other ideas too. And I guess that, again, for this marketplace makes good sense. So maybe a consortium of doctors get together to do that out there. They're already building all these other assisted livings.
Yep.
This just enhances it, maybe makes it another, brand of their product line.
Right. And we don't have to do that necessarily. We can do apartments.
Yes. Senior apartments.
You do
Yes.
top floor to restaurant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's lots of potential. It just requires money and interest.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, the foresight and some people are short-sighted sometimes because they don't see the bigger picture. And we both know, you know, we've been waiting forever for this freaking parkway. I mean, back in the 80s when my dad was president of the chamber, I know, but he was president of the chamber in the 80s and they were talking about it back years ago.
Right,
yeah, we're
right.
going to get it. But, you know, it's coming. It's at least dead heading on 44. It'll make its journey up the rest of it. But it, you know, would then make it to where if people, you know, had their elderlies living in a place like in a place that really isn't friendly, you know, where they don't feel comfortable, they got a place they can come to. Bring them up here and they can come up here for the weekend and see them.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about putting four different businesses in JCPenney's.
Yeah. It could be multi-split. I mean, it could be compatible types of businesses, a fulfillment center, a distribution center, manufacturing. If someone is in a shop that, you know, they've been sweating all summer because they don't have AC, and there are businesses out there. A friend of mine has a cabinet shop. You know, he doesn't have AC. And, you know, summer months, they only work early in the morning or late in the afternoon because they don't have AC.
Sure, sure. No,
So that's a
what
plus.
you do. If with that building with JCPenney's, you have 51,000 square feet.
How many?
Has a brand new roof on it.
How many square feet?
51,000.
51,000. Yeah.
But that could easily be divided.
Yes.
For different businesses.
Yep.
They can share the shipping and receiving area. You
Yes.
have loading docks.
Yep.
They can share common bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And they can share a lunchroom.
Yeah.
You could put a lunchroom that could be used by both businesses.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's a good use for that.
Yeah. It's on the backside of the property. Got plenty of parking.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be visible from the road so that, you know, if they've got deliveries and stuff, it's not trucks running through the front of the parking lot. But yeah, absolutely. Or if someone has been, you know, running a business, like I said, in a steel building someplace out in the shed somewhere and thinking, geez, you know, I'd like to go bigger. Can I afford it? Well, there, you know, again, don't let that lack of knowledge scare you from asking the question.
Right. Come in and talk to us.
Yes, bring in the proposal.
It may generate the whole thing to happen.
Yes, yes, yes. And again, there are individuals out there in this community who have other businesses elsewhere, you know, and it may be the time for them to maybe think about moving them here to Citrus County. You know, they've had them in other parts of the state. So,
Right. So I've had a couple of people call. There is interest for some colleges.
okay,
They in this whole space, a lot of the empty space we have could be used for that purpose.
right,
Again,
Right.
you can use the businesses that are in here.
right, right.
You need food, you need entertainment, you need some of this other stuff that we have, the personal
Right.
service.
On the positive side, we run out of space in the executive hub because you've got it all leased out because that's why you've moved.
Right.
So there's plans to do some other space. So don't let that stop you also. If you're thinking you need space, you know, there's space here that can be accommodated to bring you in and so that you can have an office like the others here, you know, that are here. We have a title company in here. Who else is in here now?
We have a title company, we have a landscaping company,
Mhm.
and we also have an insurance person.
Okay. So again, individuals who were either working from home or working for another company elsewhere, they didn't want to work from home any longer. They wanted that place to come to, you know, and it was turnkey. They didn't have to do anything except sign a lease for the time they were going to be here. And the next day they moved their furniture in and they were in business. You know, they didn't have to go through all of the rigmarole. The space is available, ready to go.
Right.
And there's other
that was furnished.
Yeah, and it was furnished. Yeah. So I mean, the hub is one of those things that I think people don't really quite understand. They hear hub. Well, it's just, you know, timeshare office space. You know, if you only need it for a month, that's fine. Need it 6 months, that's fine. If you need it for a year, that's great. So you have that flexibility.
It can be month to month. It can be whatever you want.
Yeah. Again, you've got that versatility with other space here that can be adapted to the hub space.
Okay, so let's talk medical. What could the medical facility do here?
Oh, wow.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we've got
physical therapy. We have two spaces that are in excess of 10,000 square feet. Easily put physical therapy in here.
Right, the rehab centers where people go after surgery to go do their work. My sister went to one in Citrus Hills after her surgery, You know, she went in for the weekly
right.
where they torture you, and I heard your people screaming and hollering from the. Well, you know, I walked in there one time. I mean, you know, you're in pain because of the pain you were in, and you know they're pulling your legs and arms, and you hadn't used this stuff in a while, and it was pretty bad. I sat in the car. I couldn't sit there and listen to people screaming.
But the interesting thing is, if you put something like that in here, we already have wall walking ability.
Yes. Yes.
So we have perfect mile loop in the mall. It's 1 mile if you walk all the way around.
Right. So again, it's part of that retirement, all inclusive, all inclusive, all those things that, you know, that will all add into the mix so that you're not having to go out to go do stuff. It's all here to some degree. And, you know, again, and you and I both talked about it, it's going to take someone with some vision and foresight. And if you know, it's going to take some money, but the beauty of it is the infrastructure is here.
It is. The bones are good.
Yeah, the bones are great. You know, I mean, I gotta give it to the owners here. They well maintained it, even through Corona. You know, they had people here working on the place. They didn't just shut it down and walk out the door for 4 months. You had people working pretty much every day, right?
Yeah, they kept the maintenance staff kept working. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the building was maintained and kept up, and that was very, very important. And that's what you got to know is that you're not walking into a building like some of them here in town where you walk by and you hold your nose because it smells so bad. You know, there was controversy about that one in the newspaper again. And that poor building just gets clobbered constantly. But again, you know, it's the ownership, you know, and they take pride. It's their investment. They didn't want it to deteriorate.
Right.
And now the opportunity is here for it to blossom and grow again.
So I think that's kind of batting around ideas helps people rethink what we have here.
Yes.
Give some suggestions that we are open for a lot of different things.
Right.
And you know, I want to invite people to come in.
Yes.
Anybody can come by and talk to me. And if you have a suggestion, you can email or call me. So all that information is on the website.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, there's an opportunity. Her number is 795-2585, 795-2585.
Yep.
Give her a call and just see what you can do. I mean, just ask, just throw it out there. And that's all you got to do. You know, don't be afraid to throw some crazy stuff out there because you know what? You never know. It might stick.
Okay, baby.
All right, Millie.
All right. I'll tell you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, great. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You know, we've all been through a lot of stuff the last 4, 5, 6 months. And there have been times when you kind of go, oh, man, are we ever going to, you know, make that turn in the road or that fork in the road? And I think we're there. I think we're absolutely there. And what kind of food you can... well, we've got an opportunity for another restaurant. One of our restaurants has grown up and moved on, and that happens. You know, we talked about this before, where you start here, you build a brand, and Millie and I have talked about that. You know, you come to a point where you feel like, you know, I want to spread my wings. They did. I feel happy for them that they've made the move. Now that space is available. It's basically a little restaurant. Someone who wants to come in and tackle it, throw it to Millie, present it to her. I mean, she's open to all kinds of ideas. She's not being restrictive. She's not saying, I got to have this. I mean, if it makes sense financially for all the parties involved, she'll entertain it. So again, take some time, come on out. Again, we're a unique situation. We're one of the few malls in this metro area, probably within 100 miles of here, that's still moving along. I mean, a lot of them are like ghost towns when you walk into them. Yeah, all the big boxes are gone. We know that. That's just a fact of life that the boxes are gone. And that's just a reality of life. You know, those big stores are gone. But if you've got something you've been running out of your garage, your basement, well, we don't have basements. Well, we do have a basement. But if you've been running your business, you know, in a small, you know, operation and you want to grow, think about partnering up with someone who's compatible to you, and take some space together. You know, timeshare it, so that you don't have to be there 7 days a week. So thinking outside the box. This box here is very big. There's a lot of places here to fill. We've got really good bones, like Millie and I have been saying all along, all these different messages every week, that we are here, the ownership here. Like I said, during Corona, maintained it, kept staff on. They were doing constant maintenance. They got caught up on a lot of maintenance. So that tells me right there that, they're here for the long haul, but it would be a lot neater, cooler, keener if we had local interest in it. People here who vested in the community who would jump in and say, look, I got some ideas. I mean, throw it out there and see what they have to say. Rodney, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I want to say thank you to everyone who watches each week. We've had some bumps in the road last week. We had bandwidth issues. We brought in a new tenant in the hub, and all of a sudden we ended up with 4 offices going simultaneously, sucking down internet. And Millie was trying to do it on her broadband, and we had problems. But that's a good problem. Now they fixed it, and we're okay. We're back to having good speed again. And that's the thing here. Any issues about anything that a tenant has, Millie is on top of it. She doesn't let it linger. She takes care of it, and she fixes it. I've been involved with merchandising, malls and shopping plazas over the years, and there are owners and managers who just are here for the paycheck. She's vested here. She enjoys working here, and she does a lot for the tenants that people don't really realize. Again, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. By the way, if you would like to come in and do an interview on the Cousin Vinny Network, feel free to call me at 888-738-7381 so that we can sit down and do an interview. What do you do? Let's talk about what you do. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about just stuff in general. I'm open to anything. Tuesdays at 2, pretty much the mall is the one we do every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. But we don't have to worry about it. If we record it on a podcast, we can rebroadcast it later. If we decide to do a live stream, I typically do those at 10 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Seems to be the best times I've heard from YouTube and Facebook, time to do a live presentation. So if you want to come in, give me a call at 888-738-7381, Cousin Vinny Network, here at the Citrus Executive Hub inside the Crystal River Mall. And thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. This is Cousin Vinny, out.